Well, g'day curd nerds. G'day curd nerds. Well, 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 g'day curd nerds. Welcome back. This is Ask the Cheeseman, episode 338, and a Merry Christmas to one and all. I got my Christmas lights on, I got my Christmas hat on. It's all happening here. And the Christmas music, if you can hear it, let me know in the chat. It's wonderful to see so many of you here for the last stream of the year. We will be recommencing Ask the Cheeseman again on the 5th of February. No, wrong date. 5th of January 2025. So, yeah, we'll be taking a 2-week break over Christmas, so that'll be good fun. Now, there are lots of people in the chat. Before I do, though, let me just say thank you to all the financial members who support the show. Big shout out to Jeffrey and to Paul for raising his membership, and Jeffrey first timer, and he's in the stream, which is fantastic as well. Also to all of the other YouTube members displayed on the screen there. You'll know who they are. You'll see they have a special little icon next to their name in the chat. Also, huge shout out to all of the patrons, the OG of supporters for the channel. So many of them, so many names. Thank you one and all in this festive season for keeping the show alive and well. So, yes, great t-shirt. Robert says he has the same one. Small world. Funny about that. You might have got it from merch.cheeseman.tv, maybe. Let's say g'day to lots and lots of people. There are so many in the chat. Let me just have a look. First person was Shauna, and then Patricia. Hello, Patricia. Lovely to see you. And, of course, Shauna. Paul, hello, Paul, and we'll talk about your lovely gesture in a minute. Michelle, g'day, Michelle. And who else we got there? Ooh, Molly. We've got Molly in Pennsylvania. Jeff and Heidi, hello to both of you. Adam, hello, Adam. Storm Raven and Sadie. Persnickety over in Texas. Robert M. Hello, Robert. Lovely to see you, mate. Sekhmet. G'day, mate. How are you? Liz in New Zealand. I've got Austin. Hello, Austin. Nina. And thank you for the photographs, Nina. Zombicus Officinalis. Thank you, mate. G'day. How are you? Valerie in Oklahoma. Did I get that right? I don't know. And M. Hello, M. Welcome, one and all. There are, 39 people in the chat, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, before we start, just a little bit of housekeeping. Gallery at 30 minutes past the hour. And we've got a few photos there, which is fantastic. I was on a podcast. This hasn't been released yet. It's called The 50 Tastes of Grey by Matthew Gray. I think it's a new podcast. It's only been going for about 3 or 4 months. Nice guy, really nice. I had a fantastic conversation with him. So that was great fun. So that'll be out soon during Christmas. So what I'll do, I'll pop a link into the on the community page when the episode comes out. We talked for about an hour and a half. I don't know how much is going to make the final cut, but about an hour and a half. And it was a great chat. We talked about all things cheese. He asked me so many probing questions. Nothing to do about the title of the show, of course, but yeah, very interesting. It was good fun. So I'll put a link in that. And as I've stated, the next show will be on the 5th of January, 2025. Now, I just want to highlight the first good deed of the day, and this is from Paul. Let me just pop that up there. Paul's sitting on one finger buys 5 sets of the artisan cheese kit, and you could gift them to any curd nerds who couldn't afford to buy it right now, which is absolutely fantastic and so generous. That's about $1,000 worth of cheese making kits. I will definitely cover the cost of shipping to wherever they go, and we'll devise some little contest, Paul, in the curd nerd community, so we don't get, I'm not going to say outsiders, but people, when you do contests like this, well, not contests, when you do giveaways like this, people from all over the place come in, they buy they win the stuff and then they resell it. That's not what we're going for here, obviously. Paul has said, as he said, any curd nerds who can't buy it right now, so I'm trying to think of how we're going to do it. Probably the best way is if I do the competition via my newsletter. I think that's probably best because that has a limited curd nerd newsletter. So if you want to be in the giveaway for an artisan cheese kit, let me just find the link. Where the heck is it? The link to the curd nerd newsletter. Gav, where are you? Take charge of yourself. Here we are. Pop that in the chat. So there's the link to the curd nerd newsletter. If you sign up for that, I will do a giveaway via that. But I'll talk it through with Paul via email, and we can see what we come up with. But that is a fantastic gesture in the season. So thank you so much, mate. So who's making cheese so far? Let's have a look. Who's making cheese? Persnickety says if he doesn't have a HVAC call out on Monday, he plans to make garlic and chive farmhouse, which, mate, would be very similar to probably Cotswold, which is garlic and chive cheese-ish. But that sounds pretty good. There's somebody else. There's Stephanie. Hello, Stephanie. First timer from Dunedin in New Zealand. Welcome to the stream. Jeff's just made an announcement and says, made by cow, cold pressed milk back in shops in Victoria. Yeah, after a bit of absence. They did go, well, they filed for bankruptcy, and then obviously they found some other supporters, so that's interesting. And, yeah, I actually have seen their milk about a month ago, Jeff. But, yeah, it makes a very solid curd, so that's very cool. Persnickety says, those are very good starter kits. It's how I started after finding Gav's channel and watching a few vids. Thanks, Persnickety. Yeah, indeed. They are very good cheese kits. Paul says, does the artisan cheese bundle include Gavin's cheese making book? No, it doesn't. But I suppose if you want to throw it in there as well, Paul, it's up to you. But yeah, pop that into the chat, of course, into the email that we have. But yeah, no, it doesn't come with that. It's just if I had one, because I've sold away. I had 5 before Christmas. Now I don't. And shipping, the only shipping we have is express post on Monday, which may make it for Christmas. So, and of course you've said I can add those two. You're a good man. Anyway, all right, yeah, let's communicate via email and we'll figure it all out. What we may have to do, am I sitting in the centre? What we may have to do is have a special Christmas video where we have a giveaway. So that we might do it that way too. Anyway, just thinking there. Oh, Persnickety's waxing lyrical about everything. Those are wonderful books. They lay flat and have QR codes to the videos. Oh mate, you're a champion. Jeff says, not sure what type of cheese to do for the first time. Any suggestions? Yeah, of course, Jeffrey. And I think you just bought some cheese making supplies from our shop. So let me highly recommend there's some good cheese. So it depends on what you want to use it for. So if you want to make a cheese, proper one, you could do no worse than trying Tracy's yesterday's cheese. There's a video to it. Let me just bring up a few. Let's play show and tell for a little bit. Can we do that? Yeah, why not? Let's go to the channel page. Hopefully you can all still hear me and hear the Christmas music. So let's bring up a few suggestions, shall we? If I could type. Yesterday's cheese is this one here. Let me just grab the link for that. Sharing, copy the link. So that's yesterday's. Alright, so there's that one. And that's ready to eat in the next day, but it's best after about 3 weeks. Guido's Hard Italian cheese is another fantastic beginner's cheese. Nice and easy. Let me just pop that in there as well. Guido's. There we go. There's another one. And do we have another one just on this list here? Oh, that's a nice easy one too. Farmhouse cheddar with peppercorns. You'll like that. Is a nice easy cheese to make to start with. Here we go. This is all breaking the fourth wall. Farmhouse cheddar with peppercorns. Oops. There we go. So these are pretty low fuss sorts of cheeses, nice and easy, and you won't have too much trouble. The only one that gets brined, if I remember rightly, was the Guido's, but that's nice and simple. Feta is a good beginner's cheese, but I find a lot of people have trouble with the brine, and they end up with a slimy cheese. So I do sometimes recommend it as a beginner. Depends on if you've made any cheese whatsoever before. Let's see. Now, we do have some other questions. Let me just have a quick look. Zip says, my husband was hoping I could make Swiss with mushrooms. First, I'm curious if you feel it would work to add mushrooms to a Swiss cheese. And second, if so, would dehydrated mushrooms work first? I've never tried to add mushrooms to a cheese before, especially dried ones. I wouldn't use fresh, of course. Too many things could go wrong. Let me just have a quick look at Lisa's book on her additives. So I'm just referring to Confident Cheese Making by Lisa Peterson, and she has a entire section on additives. If I can remind it, here we go. Do we have it? Do we have anything like mushrooms? Truffles or mushrooms? The step added, it says, consider adding to a cheese with a higher salt, low pH and low moisture, such as a cheddar. It says acid treatments or salt treatments may compromise the quality of the fungi. Dry heat methods such as toasting, high heat short time, or roasting, lower heat long time, are less effective safety layers and cannot be as effective with heat resistant spores. So I'm thinking she doesn't kind of recommend it. And it says some jars of truffles contain citric acid, which help to minimize spore activity. Consider a rind application on a natural cheese. Wet heat will compromise the texture of the fungi and is not recommended. So probably not the best thing to do. What I can suggest is that you could put dry porcini mushrooms or what have you into a fresh cheese. You wouldn't be able to do it with Swiss. It just wouldn't mature. You wouldn't get the eyes, all that sort of stuff. So, let me just get comfortable here. So it probably wouldn't work at all because you'll end up with some sort of infection. You wouldn't get any eye growth, unfortunately. So if you add it to a fresh cheese like, let me think, queso fresco is a good one. It's a pretty good go-to cheese. So no, I would add it only to fresh, not to Swiss. So Swiss with mushrooms, as in Swiss cheese with mushrooms normally, is a great dish, but not together. Okay. Next question is from Carolyn. Hello, Carolyn. Lovely to see you. Wondering if you could talk about brines. I've watched your videos on saturated brine, which is great, but can this be reused when in feta? Okay, so a feta, I recommend a lower salt brine. Let me just bring that up for you. We're getting deep into the weeds here. Greek feta. Let's see if we can find it. Here we are. Let me just bring the video up. Bring the page up. Stop talking, Gav. Hey, stop. Right, okay. So we're talking about Greek feta. Now there is a brine. Here we go. So 10% brine is better for feta if you're going to leave it in it and let it mature in it. Can I bring up this in a better quality than 380p? There we go. That's a bit better. So 10% brine solution. You may want to quickly write this down, Caroline, because I can't copy it off the screen, of course. So 2 litres of cooled boiled water, 250 grams or half a pound of non-iodized salt, which is a lot less than a normal 18% saturation that I use. 1 tablespoon of white vinegar and 1 teaspoon of calcium chloride. And that'll give you a balanced pH, which should be very similar to what the cheese is. And this stops the feta from going slimy. It stops the calcium ion exchange within the cheese and the brine. The cheese will exchange calcium ions to absorb the salt and go slimy on the outside of the cheese. So this is perfect, the 10%. And what it does, the cheese itself won't absorb any more salt than it possibly can. It's just basic chemistry. So you can leave it in the brine as long as you want. And this will give you a less saltier cheese. Perfect for feta. So hope that helps. There we go. We're answering lots of questions today, which is fantastic. Okay. Next question is from... Austin says, a Mad Millie hard cheese kit got me started about 10 years ago. Oh, there you go. Lovely. Thank you for sharing that, Austin. Yeah, the artisan cheese kit is pretty good. And I would have to say that the press inside it is okay for the cheeses that are in the recipe book. But if you're going to get serious about cheese making, get a better press, if that makes sense. Okay, Carolyn says, thanks, Gavin. I also saw your video on salt. Can you talk about this a bit? Not all salts are the same, and what do you use? Yeah, I use a coarse salt. So when I'm milling salt into cheese, I use a coarse salt, and I'll show you what I use. Let me just go to my shop, because we can. Little Green Workshops is where it's all at, apparently. Allegedly. So cheese making ingredients. We've got salt. Here we are. So this coarse salt, can we get a better picture? There we go. So that's the sort of granules I'm looking at. That's a very small bowl, mind you. But yeah, it is coarse sea salt with no additives, non-iodized. You can use it in preserving and all that sort of stuff. But this is the sort of salt that I will throw into my cheeses when I mill cheese. When I'm using a brine, though, what I'll use is a fine salt because it dissolves easier. So I used a non-iodized salt in brine. And it doesn't really matter if it's got preservatives or not. Or not preservatives, what's that? The anti-caking agent. It doesn't really matter if you use it in brine. It's only when it's in cheese itself. So yeah, so the two types of salt that I use is a coarse salt, this one, for when I throw it through cheeses. And a fine salt, which is table salt, non-iodized, when I'm making a brine. It's just, you can buy it in bulk, it's easier. So there we go. I hope that helps as well, Carolyn. Answer your questions. It's all happening today, isn't it? Okay. What Matthias says, what cheese would you pair with a VB long neck? I would, it's quite bitter, that beer. VB stands for Victoria Bitter. It's a common beer of the working class here in Australia. I would, on a serious note, a nice strong cheddar was what I would pair a VB long neck with. Carolyn says, I bought both your books and love the setup. Oh, thanks, Carolyn. Appreciate it. Patricia says, do you think there is any problem using fine salt for milling? No, not really. If you're using fine salt for milling, that's fine. Remember that different types of salt have different weights. So if you're using like flaky salt, for instance, will be a lot lighter per tablespoon than, say, a fine salt, than, say, a coarse salt. So they'll all have different weights, which is why lately I've been saying the percentage per weight of curd. So the percentage of salt per weight of curd. Because then if you're using any sort of salt, Patricia, you can get the right outcome. Your cheese will be salty enough to inhibit those cultures. But fine salt's fine. Just remember that it'll probably weigh a little bit more than coarse salt, because you can fit more granules into a tablespoon. But if it's working for you now, don't change anything. Trust me. You don't want to go changing stuff that works. Stephanie says, most of my hard cheese won't melt. What's the story to get melting cheese? They are made with sheep's milk. Okay, so melty cheeses have a high fat content. Actually, they have a balanced fat to protein ratio. Okay, so when it comes down to it, high fat cheeses like sheep's milk, if they're not the right pH, and a pH between 5 and 5.3, they're not going to melt properly. They're going to, when they do melt, they will either stay together like halloumi does, or if the pH is too low, too high, then the fat and the proteins are going to separate when you melt the cheese. So you have to get it just right. So some of the best cheeses for melting are made with cow's milk and not sheep's milk. Sheep's milk cheeses tend to go quite hard and crumbly because the pH is already fairly low in the sheep's milk. So maybe swap over to cow's milk and try some of the classic melters like Gruyere, Comté, Emmentaler, a good cheddar, for instance, that's not too crumbly, that's has a more neutral pH, up towards the range of 6, and then you shouldn't have too many problems at all. Austin says, what type of press would you recommend? For a beginner, I would recommend a spring press, similar to the one you've seen me use, Austin. I'll just bring up a video on that, and I'll put the link in the thing. We've got videos coming out of wazoo here. Let's go back to this. So we're going to find a press. Oops. Let's get it right. So this is my cheese press and how it works. But I'll share that press. So a spring press is nice and easy. It's not too hard to use, but there are lots of DIY cheese presses, and here's a whole bunch of ideas that Kernerd sent me. So this is a DIY cheese presses. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today. There we go. And there we go. I hope that helps. So that should get you on the path. So yeah, spring press to start with, or look, anything where you can control the weights and they don't fall over. But have a look at that DIY cheese presses as well. G'day, Robin. Lovely to see you, mate. Hopefully you're having a bit of time off over the break. What are we talking about? We're talking about beer batter, I think. Is that what we're talking about? Oh, here it is. Someone says, that beer is good for beer batter. 1 cup of self-raising flour, 1 cup of rice flour, salt and pepper, and cooked in beef dripping. Salt the fish to firm up, coat with the flour, and then beer to the batter. Very nice. Thanks for that suggestion. Sadie says, if you made Shropshire Blue again, was wondering if your changes worked for a moisture curd. Have you made No, I haven't made Shropshire Blue again. My suggestions have worked. There are others who have made it since I put that video out and told people to not cheddar the curds or whatever I did wrong. I can't remember. It's been a while now. Yeah, so whatever I recommended, I can't remember what it was. Sadie, yes, it worked and people are using it. So there we go. Hope that helps. Yana says, what kind of spices are good for chowder? I think some of the best are caraway seeds, I've seen a lot of, which are very nice. And cumin, of course. Cumin seeds are perfect for a good chowder. Make sure you treat them by heating them, the seeds that is, before you add them to your cheese. And even if you only buy, and I'm not pushing Lisa's book today just for any reason, it's good because it's a good book. In the additives section, and I'd buy it just for this, when we talk about seeds or spices, dried spices, mill the curds in just before the pressing stage, and there's a heat treatment. She says bake at 120 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes, or add to boiling water, and treat them that way. But yeah, they're the best spices to add to chowder. Let me just have a look. Somebody put a super chat in there and the light hasn't gone off for whatever reason. Michelle, thank you for the $10 US. Let's get this super chatty thing going. There we go. You are the official curd nerd of the day because you did the first super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you. And you say in your little note, Merry Christmas, Gavin, and to all the curd nerds, I'll be making more cheese after the holidays. That's fantastic. Now, I'm hoping to make cheese during the holidays. So as soon as we take a break, I'm going to enlist my son Ben's help for some of the stirring, or see if the stir mate that I have is up to the job. Depends on the cheese. Yeah, it's I'm going to attempt it anyway. And I'm not going to bail. I'm going to just keep going if it hurts, and we'll see how we go. Anyway, Patricia's saying stuff about salt. Where is it? Where's the salt thing she's talking about? I have a minor salt crisis. My bulk supplier stopped selling pickling salt, which is perfect for cheese making. Yes, it is. Now they sell rock salt, which is just huge chunks of non-iodized salt. I grind it to dust in my spice grinder. That's not good to hear, Patricia. Hopefully that all works out for you and you find somebody else to get your non-iodized salt from. But that alarm was for the gallery. So let's flash that up. Let me see if I can get this all right. Here we go. Let's get the words up. Right, here we go. The gallery is brought to you by you, the Curd Nerds, and there we go. Here's the first picture today. And where's the notes? There's the notes. This one's from Greg. That's a good-looking cheese. Let me just zoom in on it. Whoop, there we go. That's better. Okay, so Greg says, because I put a call out on YouTube community yesterday afternoon because we didn't have many photos. So Greg says, hi, Gavin. My name's Greg, and I'm writing to you from snowy Utica, I think that's how you say it, Utica, Pennsylvania, in the US. We have a small 10-acre farm with goats and sheep. I often trade cheese for trade for something raw cow's milk. Or trade cheese, maybe, or trade it. I saw you had a request for some photos for Ask the Cheeseman segment. I felt particularly proud of this Port Salut. Thank you for your content and Merry Christmas. And that is a good-looking Port Salut. I reckon, from what I can tell there's another picture. Hang on. Now, that one's a bit better. Yeah, so it's a bit... Is that the same cheese? Hang on. No, that's different. So that... it's a different cheese. I don't know what the second cheese is. Maybe he's made Port Salut twice. You'll have to tell me, Greg. But yeah, it looks pretty good because the paste looks like it's a little bit soft, which is absolutely perfect for a Port Salut. This is very small. If those grapes are normal-sized grapes, that is a very small little cheese. And if that's a standard-sized bamboo mat, same thing. But very nice-looking cheese, unless it's a part of this one that's been cut in half. Hang on, let me just... Oh no, that rind's intact. The mystery's still here. If this is a Port Salut as well. But great looking cheese, Greg. Thank you so much for sending it in. The next cheese is from Nina. Hello, Nina. And Nina's in the chat. Says, hi, Gavin. We opened a homemade Appenzeller. Couldn't quite wait till Christmas Day to sample it. It's about 2 months old, rubbed with wine, herbs, and bee linens. Tastes just the right amount of salt, creamy, slightly sweet, fairly dry texture on the rind. Seems nice to eat just by itself. Dan likes how it squeaks on his teeth. I'll send you another more festive photo. Cheers, Nina. So that's the outside of the Appenzeller after it's been washed many times. And there's the inside. No, there's mechanical holes there, no, nothing to worry about. But a good-looking cheese, indeed. The rind is fairly dry from the washing, which it should be, and the inside of the paste. And I think we do have a... Oh, there we go. There's a festive. Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas. And there's the cheese there in all its glory. Fantastic. Thank you, Nina. That is lovely. Do have one last contributor for the gallery today, and that is from Patricia. Thank you for sending this in, Patricia. It says, hello, Gavin. Here is a picture for your gallery. This is my most recent stout infused cheddar, aged 4 months in vacuum packing. You may have noticed that I make this cheese a couple of times a year, as both Henry and I are very fond of it and like to have it on hand. Historically, when making this cheese, I used stouts from Nova Scotia craft breweries, but for this latest cheese, I used a chocolate-based stout from an Ontario craft brewer. The cheese tastes very stouty right now, and I'm really looking forward to the changes in the flavour profile over the next several months. If I don't catch you for this live stream, which you have, I wish you and Kim a Merry Christmas. We expect snow tomorrow, which you've got, and freezing temperatures for the following week. So Nova Scotia will be experiencing a rare white Christmas. Best wishes, Patricia. Thank you, Patricia. Let's zoom in on this cheese, and you can see the chunks of curd and the bits that have this stout. Now, this cheese may look not as... I've seen some stout cheddars, and this is similar to the way I do it. I think Patricia's using my recipe. The stout infusion doesn't look very distinct. That's the word I'm looking for, distinct. However, the smell and the flavour is just exceptional. There's a real good stout flavour in the cheese. So, yeah, well done, Patricia. As always, a lovely looking cheese. I think... Oh, no, we got one more. Oh, this is from Scott. Scott sent in a joke from Legendary. Says, sweet... 2 cows. Sweet dreams are made of cheese. Who am I to disagree? I cheddar the world and the feta cheese. Everybody's looking for Stilton. I think people may have seen this before, but it's quite funny. I like it, indeed. And lucky last, from Bonnie and Hamish, who are not here right now. They're having a sleep with Mum on a lovely Sunday morning. Merry Cheesemas from Bonnie and Hamish as well. Don't forget, they've got their own channel, the Hamish and Bonnie, the Westies channel. And they put out a couple of shorts the other day saying Merry Christmas. But anyway, very cute. And that's also a very big Merry Christmas from me and Kim, the 2 doggos, and Benjamin, of course, who helps in the shop, to all of you curd nerds who are watching right now. If you celebrate the season, or Happy Hanukkah, or whatever holiday you're celebrating. So thanks, everybody. Next, Clayton, Merry Christmas to you too, mate. Good to be back online. Nice to see you. Michael says, Happy Holidays. Sorry we're late. That's okay. Mum of Bat, fenugreek will work well too in chowder. That's nice. Molly has a suggestion for Patricia. I have found any canning and pickling salt works. Maybe there just aren't any bulk options you want through other brands. Robin says the Dutch use a lot of caraway. Indeed, they do. They like a good caraway, which is a distant cousin of cumin, if I remember rightly. Storm Raven says, what is a good cheese for sausage making? It requires a high melting temperature cheese. Yes, yeah. If you're talking about making sausages to cook in the frying pan, one of your best bets is a good halloumi, because it doesn't melt, and it will give you some flavour in the cheese as well. Another good cheese is a chunks of Romano or a Parmigiano Reggiano, because they have a very high melting temperature. In fact, they don't melt very well at all. So chunks of those in your sausages will also help, Storm Raven. Okay, Matt. Hello, Matt. Merry Christmas to all you crazy curd nerds. Merry Christmas to you as well, mate, over in the UK. Robin says, can you turn any cheese into American burger compatible cheese with sodium citrate? Well, the ones I tried, yeah, they work fine. I just made sure that I grated the cheeses and stuff before I put them into the water and sodium citrate mix, and that worked fine without any issues. Talia says, hi Gavin, how do you keep the dried fruits in your cheese looking colourful? A couple of times I've tried and they turn an ugly brown and the colour have leached out of the fruits. I only use fruit like that in a fresh cheese. I'll just bring that up and show you. I call it Christmas fruitcake cheese. If I can find it. Here it is. Christmas fruitcake cheese. How do I keep the colours? Is there a picture? Oh, Merry Christmas, Gav. Oh, we're going a bit slow. Where's the final cheese? Where is he? There he is. It's very festive. Kim went all out that year, didn't she? Here we go. There's a picture. Right, so this is because this is a fresh cheese. It doesn't get aged. This Christmas fruitcake cheese is based on queso fresco. It's meant to be eaten within 7 days, so the fruit doesn't leach funny colours and stuff. So this was just a fruit mix. It's in the video on what I did and how I did it. It's got some walnuts in there. It's got some almonds, I think, as well. Some pecans. And a spiced fruit mix used for Christmas cakes. I'll just grab the link for you and pop that into the chat. Christmas fruit cake cheese. Additives like dried fruits and stuff like that really shouldn't be put into longer aged cheeses. Like I said, this is a queso fresco, made in the same day, eaten in the same day. So yeah, absolutely easy to make, but do not age your cheeses. They're going to get infected. I didn't sanitize any of this fruit stuff at all because I wanted to keep the colours. So yeah, that's just how I did it, and that's how you should do it. Don't put it into your fruit unless it's all fully sanitized, Talia. But yeah, good question. Do we have any more questions? Of course we do. Somewhere here. Michelle says, all the gallery photos were so beautiful. Indeed, they were lovely cheeses. I concur fully. Now, one thing I didn't show you was how do you send me pictures for next time when we start back on the 5th of January. So, let me just show you. Sorry I didn't show this after the gallery. All we do is go to this bit here. Do you want to become a curd nerd? Just click there and you get this about thing pop up. Down here is view email address. So just click on the email address button. You'll get asked if you're a robot or not. You'll get the link, and that's where you send any of the curd nerd photos for the gallery. So if you do that, that would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, moving right along. I'm sure we've got some more questions here somewhere. Yes, Patricia does have an amazing cheese board, very arty. Patricia says, the stout cheddars you see at the grocers have very distinct brown lines, but I reckon there must be some additive to intensify that colour. Caramel. The lines in my stout cheddars are never very dark. Same here. I used Guinness when I made my stout cheddar. Yeah, and I had the same thing. I think they add some sort of caramel colour to the beer as well, to not only get the flavour, but to get that really dark lines on the outside of the curd before you press it. So, Robin says, happy winter solstice, and we celebrate the birth of our Lord Cheeses. Couldn't find a pun for Hanukkah or Eid. So they say it. But if I did, I would. Happy summer solstice here in the southern hemisphere. Yesterday was our summer solstice, the 21st of December. So it was our longest day of the year. However, as it continues on, we do have longer nights. Longer days, so the sun sets later, up to nearly 9:15 p.m. down here. We're a little bit lower than everybody else down here in sunny Melbourne. But yeah, happy solstice to wherever you are and celebrate. I just spied some other people there. There's a Sun person. G'day, how are you? Gypsy Smith. Hello, Gypsy. Lovely to see you on the stream. There's a question from Jeffrey. He says, could I use American honey in the Christmas cheese? I can't get the Christmas spirit that you used here in Adelaide. The Christmas cheese. You could use any sort of spiced brandy. American honey. What the heck is American honey? When's the home? Is it honey from America? I don't know. Hang on. There's got to be something special about it. American honey. Oh, it's wild turkey. Right, okay. And is that anything? Is that special? American honey liqueur. Yeah, you could use that. No problems at all. Jeffrey, so yeah, Philly boots. Any sort of Christmas spirit, if that makes sense. So something with a Christmassy sort of flavour. Spiced brandy, spiced mead. I just used that Christmas spirit. It was actually from Henry of Harcourt's up near Bendigo. It was actually a perry that turned out like Christmas spirit. I don't know, and they called it Christmas spirit, so that was fabulous. Oh, another super chat. Thank you so much to Paul, and we'll pop the light on because we can. Need to run now. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to Gavin and Kim and the other curd nerds. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it. And catch up via email about your idea for the donation. That would be, and the giveaway. That would be fantastic. Thank you, Paul, for the 25 US. Appreciate it. I can't read the Arabic part, but I can read the English part. Welcome to the channel. I made cheese cave and it came out. Sorry, I made cave cheese and it came out many colours: yellow, grey, black, and white. I wonder if the taste will be like. I didn't open it because something. There we go. We got an extra. That's for Paul. That's an extra curd nerd light. Merry Christmas, mate. If the cheese obviously came out a whole bunch of colours, funky colours, on the rind, and it all depends on how you made it. I wasn't there. I don't know how you made it, what cheese you made. So unfortunately, I can't help at all. What time is it? It's quarter. We still got 15 minutes to go. Is my clock right? Yeah, it is. So if you've got any questions, burning questions before the end of the chat, it ends in 15 minutes time, then please throw them in the chat and I'll do my very best to answer them. Some of the things that I'm going to be doing over the Christmas break. We break up on noon on the Christmas Eve on the 24th of December. That's when we do our last... Well, that's when we ask people to pick their orders up. Shipping has all but ceased at the moment, except for Express, which may or may not get there before Christmas. So you can still pick up one of these lovely cheese kits. We've got lots of cheese kits for gifts and all the cheese stuff, including my book. I printed off a whole bunch more, put them up online the other day. Keep calm and make cheese, and keep calm and make more cheese. So if you are in Australia and you feel the need to gift a cheese making kit, then you can do so over at littlegreenworkshops.com.au. So don't forget that's... Can I put that up here? There we go. That's where you can get cheese making supplies. Anyway, so like I said, if you send that express tomorrow, it'll should get there before Christmas. I can't guarantee any rural areas will get their express post, but if you live in metro areas, then yeah, it should get there before Christmas if you're having a Christmas thing. Okay. Oh, we've got more people popping up on the stream that I haven't seen before. Merry Christmas from Megan. Hello, Megan. And goodness me, Patricia, thank you so much for the $5 Canadian. Merry Christmas, everybody. Got to go and make my after-dinner Going to go and have my after-dinner coffee and put up my Christmas tree. See you in the new year. Indeed. Jeffrey said, I ordered your book on Friday. My wife got it for me for Christmas. Indeed. And we shipped that out, Jeffrey. Oh, did we? Hang on, let me have a look. Don't want to give away any customer confidential information. Patricia just bought something from Fourth Wall. Thank you. Must have been the calendar. Well done. Yeah, that should come after the new year. My phone tells me everything. What have we got there? Oh, yes. Jeffrey did order one yesterday. And it is express. So I should get that. We'll get that to you tomorrow, mate. And hopefully it'll be under your tree before Christmas, Jeffrey. That's Patricia's Curd Nerd Light. Thank you, Patricia. Appreciate it. Oh, we got another one. Zombicus. Merry Christmas. Thanks for the $5 US. Appreciate it, mate. Let's turn the light off so I can turn on again. But yeah, thank you very much for the kind $5 US. Appreciate it, mate. Okay. What else? That's about all I got for the show today. I know it's 10 minutes early, but without the lots of questions, there isn't much of a show. But I'm hoping everybody... Oh, I was saying what I was going to be doing in the break. So like I said, we break up on... let me get it right. Christmas Eve, that's the one. 24th at noon. And... yeah, we're going to relax. We're doing Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve because on Christmas Day it is going to be 40 degrees Celsius. The lights go on still. What's going on there? Yeah, so it's going to be 40 degrees Celsius, and then on Boxing Day it's going to be 41 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to have to cover up the veggie patch, batten down the hatches, put the air conditioner on, and just suffer through the heat. And water the gardens in the morning. And then after that, it's going to cool down, thank goodness. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we'll be doing, and hopefully I'll be making some cheese. So, Merry Christmas to everybody. Jeffrey, send me an email from where I've sent you a few for the orders and stuff. Shoot me an email, mate, and I'll send you the link to where the chair is. I think I got it on Amazon. I'm going to send you a link. But yeah, the chair works very well, and it's when you need to. Hang on, let me just pull it out. It has a little remote thing, and it has vibrations, and you plug it in via USB, which I just plug into my computer, so that works. Anyway, that helps a lot. Anyway. There we go. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. I won't push any more merch. Hope you enjoyed the hat. There's a jingle. There we go. And season's greetings, and we will see you in the next year if we don't have I do a video on the Christmas giveaway. It should be interesting. But yeah, I might do that live. I'm not sure. That's where we get all the dedicated Curd Nerds. Anyway, Merry Christmas one and all. If you celebrate, happy holidays wherever else you are. Thank you so much for watching during 2024. It's been a blast. Sorry about the last couple of months where we haven't had too many cheese making videos because of the back injury, but yeah, it's been a blast of a year. We've had so much fun on the channel. I've enjoyed making all the cheeses, and mostly every weekend bringing these live streams to you. So like I said, Merry Christmas one and all, and I will see you on the 5th of January when the next show is on. I'll schedule that in a minute. All right, thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and I'll see you next time.